Hi students, in the previous video we have seen an example of electrolysis, that is electrolysis of molten lead bromide. Now here we are going to see a principle called selective discharge, because this is required to understand the further examples. So keep watching. What is selective discharge? When two or more ions of the same charge are present in a solution of an electrolyte under identical conditions and are competing for discharge at the same electrode, one of them gets preferentially discharged. Now this is called a selective discharge. Example, we have an electrolytic cell here in this diagram. Here if you find here, suppose this is anode, and there are two kinds of anode. Example, if you take here copper sulfate solution, CuSO4 solution, it will dissociate giving Cu++ and SO4 minus minus. Okay. And we also have water, because it is aqueous solution. Water will also split giving H plus and OH minus ions. So if you check at the anode, we have two anions coming here. One is sulfate ion SO4 minus minus, the other one is OH minus. Both of them are coming. Now the question is, out of this, which one will be discharged? Which one will the anode accept to discharge? Same way, we also have cations. We have two cations here, Cu++ coming to the cathode and also H plus coming. Out of this, which one will be discharged? Or both of them are discharged, or none of them is discharged? So these things are being decided by the principle called selective discharge. You can see the statement again. When two or more ions of the same charge are present in a solution of an electrolyte under identical conditions and are competing for discharge at the same electrode, one of them gets preferentially discharged. One gets the priority. Now this is what is called a selective discharge. Now this is based on certain principles. Now which ion will be discharged is determined by certain factors. The first factor is the position, the relative position in the electrochemical series. We have a series called electrochemical series here. Now let's see the cations: potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, zinc and iron and lead and hydrogen, copper and silver. So this electrochemical series is there. So as you move down, you find it is easy to discharge. The ions on top are difficult to discharge. The ions at the bottom are easy to discharge. Or in other words, it is in the increasing order of ease of discharge. Okay, the increasing order of the ease of discharge, or the difficulty of discharge decreases as you go down. So this is called the position of the ion in the electrochemical series. For anions also, sulfate ions, and the lowest is OH. OH minus one is the easiest discharge anion, and sulfate is the most difficult one to discharge. So as you move down, the ease of discharge increases. Okay, so this is one thing. The selective discharge depends upon three factors. The first factor is the relative position. In other words, you can say the lower the position, of the ion in the electrochemical series, the easier it is discharged. Okay, so I think you understood this part. Now the second factor is the relative concentration of the ion. The higher the concentration of the ion, easier it is discharged. Example, if you have CuSO4 solution giving Cu++ and SO4 minus minus ions, and aqueous solution water, now it gives H plus and OH minus ions. Okay, now if the solution is very dilute, means very small amount of copper sulfate is dissolved, so what will happen? Copper ions will be less, whereas hydrogen ions will be more, because it is aqueous solution. If you take a strong solution of copper sulfate, more copper ions will be there. Now whichever ion is having a higher concentration, that will be discharged easily. So higher the concentration of the ion, easier it is discharged. This is the second condition. Now the third is the nature of the electrode. Now this is applied only for the anions. This applies only to anions. Now the anode is there, which is, there are two types of anode. One is called the active anode. We have already discussed all this, active anode, and the other one is passive anode or inactive anode. Now if the anode is active, if the anode is active, what will happen? the factors 1 and 2, that is the position in the electrochemical series and concentration of the ion. These two will be followed. Okay. Now, if the anode is active, what happens? None of the anions will be discharged. None of the anions will get discharged. Okay. We have already seen that active anodes do not allow anions to discharge at them. Instead, what they do? Instead, the anode produces its own ions. Okay. Example, if the anode is made up of copper, any anion coming here, this anion SO4 minus minus and OH minus, none of them will be discharged. OH minus, SO4 minus minus, none of them will be discharged. No discharge. They will stay there and are called spectator ions. What are they called? Spectator ions, because they come to the anode but do not get discharged. Spectator ion. Instead, the copper will give its own ions. Copper giving Cu++ and 2 electrons. So, the anode producing its own ions. This is what will happen if the anode is active. So, for selective discharge, there are 3 factors. Selective discharge is the preferential discharge of any particular ion when more than one such ion is present in the electrolyte at a particular electrode. Right, and it depends on 3 factors. Number 1 is the position of the ion in the electrochemical series. The lower the position, the easier it is discharged. Second factor is the concentration of the ion. Higher the concentration of the ion, easier it is discharged. And third factor is the nature of the electrode. If it is applied only to anode. If the anode is active, it gives its own ions. No anion will be discharged. If the anion is passive, the factors 1 and 2 will be followed. So students, I hope you understood what is selective discharge. So you can watch the video again so that you understand it well. Subscribe the channel and post your questions in the comments. Thank you.